Two massive storms are about to collide, and the problems they create will affect every single state. Right now, a series of storms is forming in the northern United States. This leads to a rare December heat wave, powerful winter storms, major flooding, and the return of severe weather. In the next 90 seconds, I'll show you why Thursday brings 5 different weather threats at once. At the 5-minute mark, you'll learn about the 70-mile-per-hour winds coming. And at the 7-minute mark, I'll reveal why Christmas could break temperature records. But first, let me show you what's happening right now, because this sets up everything that follows. As temperatures surge north, a sharp clash between warm and cold air sets up across the entire northern United States, creating a prime environment for a powerful winter storm from coast to coast. Heavy snow, strong winds, poor road conditions. Travel dangerous, especially as conditions change quickly in a short period. Farther south, that same surge of warmth pulls unseasonably moist air northward, increasing instability across the Ohio Valley and Dixie Alley. This opens the door for a low-end severe weather setup with potential for spin-up tornadoes. At the same time, the jet stream is flattening out, allowing for a strong atmospheric river to lock in over the Pacific Northwest. Prolonged heavy rain at lower elevations combined with significant mountain snow elevates flooding concerns, especially in areas that have already seen recent rainfall. As Job chapter 37 verse 6 reminds us, he says to the snow, "Fall on the earth," and to the rain shower, "Be a mighty downpour." We're witnessing both commands simultaneously. Snow in the north, mighty downpours in the west, all from the same pattern. It's really all going to revolve around our jet stream. This is what it looks like right now. We have a big dip in our jet stream beginning to form over the Pacific Northwest. This is actually a storm system currently impacting Washington and Oregon with a load of snow, even blizzard conditions. Also heavy rain leading to river flooding. That flooding only gets worse over the next couple days. Thursday and Friday, a large storm forms in the northern plains. This storm brings a boatload of things. Heavy snowfall that could lead to blizzard conditions. Even the return of severe weather. Much warmer weather for parts of the country. Another shot of Arctic air over the northern tier. Just a bunch of stuff comes from this Wednesday and Thursday. On top of all this, very high winds for many of you across the northern plains and Midwest. Friday and Saturday, that dip in the jet stream makes its way across the Ohio Valley. A strong cold front pushes across the mid-Atlantic Friday. Temperatures drop behind this storm system, but it's only brief. Going into the weekend, our jet stream becomes flat again. Very zonal, not good for the Pacific Northwest. We continue to see a lot of moisture come out of the Pacific, dumping even more rain along the west coast. That could include areas even further south in California. Something to keep an eye on next weekend. Eventually, as we go into early next week, right before Christmas, things get more uncertain. But Christmas could be very interesting when it comes to temperatures. We could see a huge rise in our jet stream across the central and southern U.S. May lead to what's called torch mess. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Let me ask you a critical question. How do you prepare when the weather brings winter in one state and spring in the state next door? Now let's put this into more simplistic terms with future radar over the next several days. It's a complete mess right now over the Pacific Northwest. Snow, rain, high winds, basically an entire monster storm system has formed, causing the threat of flooding right now, also even blizzard conditions in higher elevations. Major travel impacts expected, especially in those higher elevations throughout the daytime today. Late tonight, this low-pressure system makes its way across the northern Rockies. It's going to be a very intense storm system. If you're somebody that gets headaches because of pressure drops, that's going to be very common tomorrow in the Midwest and northern plains. Our pressure goes from around 1,020 millibars in areas like Michigan and Wisconsin down to around 980 millibars late Thursday. Pretty intense low-pressure system. The biggest story with this storm as it makes its way past the Rockies Thursday, we're expecting the threat of heavy snowfall, maybe even blizzard conditions in far northern Minnesota and North Dakota Thursday. Any remaining snow on the ground could also cause blizzard-like conditions from how high the winds are going to be across parts of the Midwest, including Iowa and even South Dakota and Wisconsin. As Proverbs chapter 25 verse 13 says, "Like a snow-cooled drink at harvest time is a trustworthy messenger to the one who sends him. He refreshes the spirit of his master." Even in chaos, there's purpose. Even in storms, there's reason. But that's not all. We even have a threat of strong to severe storms Thursday over the Ohio Valley. The biggest concern, a line of thunderstorms producing the threat of damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. should remain an isolated risk, but I would not rule out an isolated tornado somewhere in that line. If a tornado were to happen, it would be very weak. Not a very favorable environment for tornadoes, generally speaking, but we will have thunderstorms from Ohio into Tennessee throughout the daytime Thursday. Snow continues Thursday evening over Wisconsin, Minnesota. If you're in Minneapolis, if you're in Wausau, those are areas that could see some light snowfall. Not expecting much accumulation. Friday, we're talking about a very big mess across New England with plenty of moderate to heavy rainfall across all of New England throughout late morning and early afternoon Friday. A little bit of snow on the backside of that. While all that's happening, we have another intense shot of heavy rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest Thursday night into early Friday. This causes even more problems when it comes to flooding and landslides. Late Friday and Saturday, the remnants of that storm system make their way into southern Canada in areas like Saskatchewan where light snow is on the table. Eventually, by the weekend and early next week, we continue to have a very active weather pattern in the Pacific Northwest, east of the Rockies. Fairly quiet. We don't have any big storm systems on the horizon right before Christmas. Current preview of Christmas Day, this is where things get more uncertain. The GFS model has been showing at least some signs of wintry weather in areas like the Northeast or even the upper Midwest, something to keep an eye on, but we don't really know if this is going to happen quite yet. The other thing, back over on the West Coast in areas like California and Nevada, we could have a storm system that could bring heavy rainfall. Generally speaking, right now, Christmas is a little uncertain what's going to happen. But the temperature trend is very interesting. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Now, with these storms upcoming, we've got a few things to talk about. I want to begin with the snowfall potential over the northern plains. Generally speaking, this is not going to be a major winter storm. But if you're in North Dakota, Minnesota, or northern Wisconsin, a widespread coating to upwards of 6 to 7 inches of snow is on the table. With that said, we're going to have very high winds throughout the day Thursday. So blizzard conditions are definitely on the table, even with this little amount of snowfall. If you're one of those people that has an inflatable snowman in your yard, you want to make sure that thing is tied down. As we go into late tonight into early Thursday, we're expecting extremely high winds all across the central and northern plains. A widespread swath of 40 to 70 mile per hour winds is expected across the Dakotas into Minnesota and Nebraska. 40 to 70, that's potentially hurricane force winds. Over land. In December. It continues Thursday afternoon across Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, even into Oklahoma and Arkansas, where we aren't really expecting much in the way of showers or thunderstorms. Late Thursday night into early Friday, those winds continue to remain pretty strong across the Great Lakes region, where wind gusts will still be around 25 to 45 miles per hour. As Nahum chapter 1 verse 3 declares, "The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. His way is in the whirlwind, and the storm and clouds are the dust of his feet." We're seeing his way in the whirlwind, the storm, the awesome power. In terms of total rainfall accumulation across the Pacific Northwest, this is between now all the way through Friday night. Honestly, not that long of a time frame since we continue to see even more rain and snow beyond this weekend. If you're anywhere in Washington or Oregon, especially in the western half of the state, that's where a widespread 3 to 7 inches of rain is still expected. The higher elevations continue to see much more rain and also snow. We'll be watching for the possibility of even upwards of a foot of rainfall over western Oregon. A foot, 12 inches, in days not weeks. Mudslides as well as major flooding and rivers continue to be on the table. If you have any friends or family up there, please make sure they are aware of this situation. Share this information. Now I have news. If you're hoping for cold Christmas, that's not happening. Very warm pattern settling in. Very high likelihood above average temps 22nd to 26th, about a week away. Right now above average temps dominate, but shot of Arctic air late Thursday, Friday across Midwest Ohio Valley, Great Lakes. Notice how fast it moves out. Only there 24 hours. Saturday, Sunday, warm air returns. Early next week, warm air builds all across U.S. Hot for this time year. Threat of record-breaking highs, Midwest, Central, and Southern Plains. Get ready. No winter jacket Christmas. Looks like torch for most of you. Early preview Christmas Eve temps. Still week away. Could change bit. But forecasting very warm Christmas. South of Chicago, 60s, 70s. 70 degrees possible St. Louis Christmas Eve. Chicago maybe 40. Big flip from winter weather we've seen. As Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 reminds us, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. We had our time for cold. Now comes the time for warmth, even if the timing seems odd. Today through Wednesday, Pacific Northwest prepare for monster storm. heavy rain, heavy snow, blizzard conditions, higher elevations, major flooding, monitor rivers constantly, evacuation plans ready, foot of rain possible western Oregon, catastrophic flooding, don't wait for orders, water rises, leave immediately. Wednesday night into Thursday, major storm develops. Northern Plains, upper Midwest prepare for blizzards, not just snow but winds blowing existing snow. 40 to 70 mile per hour winds. Widespread. Dakotas, Minnesota, Nebraska. Thursday afternoon, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Secure everything. Tie down inflatables. Charge devices. Expect power outages. Pressure headaches. Thursday rough. 1,020 to 980 millibars in hours. Intense drop. Travel Thursday northern tier extremely dangerous. Whiteout conditions even with light snow. High winds reduce visibility. Don't travel unless necessary. Thursday Ohio Valley severe weather possible. Thunderstorm line. Damaging winds 60 miles per hour. Isolated tornado risk low but not zero. Monitor alerts. Have shelter plans. Friday strong cold front. Big mess New England. Moderate to heavy rain. Temps drop behind front. Briefly, Great Lakes 25 to 45 mile per hour winds. Rough conditions continue. Weekend Arctic air gone quickly. Warm air returns. Pattern shifts. Next week before Christmas above average temps dominate. 22nd to 26th very warm. Record highs possible Midwest Southern Plains. Christmas Eve and day uncertain precipitation. Some models show wintry Northeast or upper Midwest. Others show storm California, Nevada. Temperature trend clear warm. 60 to 70 degrees south of Chicago Christmas Eve. 70 possible St. Louis. Chicago maybe 40. Still warm December. No winter jacket needed Christmas. Most experiencing torch pattern. Spring temperatures December. For Pacific Northwest, this isn't one day. It's a pattern. Active through Christmas and beyond. Wave after wave. More rain. More mountain snow. More flooding. Total rainfall could exceed 15 inches some locations. Rivers high will go higher. Flooding worsens. Landslides increase saturated ground. Evacuation orders. Follow them. Don't wait. Water powerful, unpredictable. Northern Plains. Upper Midwest. Thursday danger day. Blizzard conditions. Hurricane force winds. Extreme pressure drops. Simultaneously. Even if snow totals aren't, extreme conditions are. Wind makes everything worse. Travel impossible. Power lines down. Stock essentials now. Don't wait. Food, water, batteries, flashlights, heat if power goes out. Check elderly neighbors. Pressure drops affect people differently. Severe headaches possible. Someone checks Thursday. Ohio Valley ready for severe weather. December thunderstorms unusual but not impossible. Line of storms means rapid changes. Clear to severe in minutes. Multiple ways receive warnings. Weather radio, phone, TV. Don't rely on one. Everyone rapid pattern shift. Cold to warm days. Winter to spring weather. Arctic to record warmth. Infrastructure stressed. Pipes, roads, everything. As Psalm 104 verse 24 says, "How many are your works, Lord? In wisdom you made them all. The earth is full of your creatures." Even patterns we don't understand reflect His wisdom, His design, His purpose. The next 7 days bring extreme variety. Blizzards, severe weather, flooding, record warmth, all in 1 week. Each area faces different threats. Each threat requires different preparation. But we can navigate this. Informed, prepared, looking out for each other. In tomorrow's forecast, I'll dive deeper into Thursday timing. Exact hours each threat hits. Wind speeds by location. Severe weather timing. Everything you need to know. 2 massive storms are causing big problems. But we're ready. Stay safe. Stay weather aware. And may God protect you through every storm. Until tomorrow. Until